Like, can you just tell me the last time you got a burr in your hair? Oh my God, look at this. It's horrible. What? Who even does that? I can't even talk about life right now. It has already been a day, been that. That was just classic. That's all I gotta say. Seriously. Wow. So this week, I'm gonna be honest with you about something. I wasn't thrilled with my flower paintings last week. I kind of did them late in the game, ran out of time. They weren't my best work. This week I really want to go back to something that I spent a lot of time doing at the end of college and then a lot of time doing out of college. What was that? Watercolors. I guess I'm not like formally trained in watercolors, but I've used them a lot and have spent a lot of time kind of getting to know them just as a medium. There are so many amazing professional watercolor artists on YouTube. I hope you check some out for some really great formal training with a lot of really great techniques, because there's a lot of really good watercolor techniques out there. For me, I'm just going to use them for some figure painting, some wash drawings, and my dog found a little rabbit hole, of course. So I'm just going to try some wash techniques, figure drawings with some watercolor wash on some watercolor paper. We'll see what happens. Enjoy. Some of the watercolors I've done in the past have been portraits. I think I want to explore portraits again through watercolor with this series. The palette I chose for this series of pictures is a primary-based palette, which is a palette that I use in a lot of my paintings. If you go to Trove's website at trovearts.com, you'll see other paintings that I've created, and I often stick with a primary-based palette. So reds, yellows, blues. I sketch in the general gesture of the face for my portrait, and then get started with colors. With watercolors, I usually use lots of layers, so I'm just starting with some layers to get started, so it looks kind of like Elsa from Frozen. That'll change. I usually like to abstract most of my painting work, whether it be watercolor or acrylics. So I end up doing some dripping work here and abstracting some parts of the face. I'm penciling in my second portrait. This one is straight on, and I'm going to lay down some colors as a base. Again, I decided to abstract the portrait by obscuring one of the eyes and doing some dripping across the page. This last one, I decided to start with a full background lay of color. Really wet, so all of this was really bleeding together, and it ended up looking kind of like a hot mess for a minute. But I think I brought it together at the end. Not everybody likes their colors to muddle together, but I kind of do. I think it creates some depth and some really beautiful looking shadows, so I don't mind the muddier parts of this portrait. After I finished dripping across all of these, I came in with a calligraphy pen and some ink and decided to define some of the features. I like that they almost have a sort of graphic novel sensibility to them. And then I, of course, had to spray some ink across the pages at the very end. One last thing. Erin suggested some text at the bottom of each picture because they do have that graphic novel look. So I chose a few quotes that I've saved over the years and added them towards the bottom. So I ended up with some graphic novel-ish watercolor portraits. I really enjoyed making them, and I hope you enjoyed watching today. Have a great day. Take the time to do something creative. Visit trovearts.com for more ideas.